Okay. Hello and hello, everyone. My name's Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we're going to be playing...
Okay.
Oh,
Hello
sweet.
and hello, everyone.
And even better, no cursed audio. No cursed audio, which, after how that last stream went, I was deeply paranoid, and I took an overflowing abundance of precautions, and, well, guess what? They all panned out. So, yes, and hello and hello, Yoshiharu. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, ooh, wow, lots of snap, crackles, and pops out of that fella right there. But yeah, we have pumpkins. So I actually have something of one of these kit thingamajiggers. One of these. So last year I did so I've got two pumpkins with me today. I did the last year I did the owl, which it was kind of a little finicky, but it actually turned out real nice in the end. And then I also just did like a standard, like regular jack-o'-lantern. So my first debate of the night is also to figure out which one of these I want to do, because there's definitely some spooky, scary ones like this guy here, but I don't know. I'm really tempted to do the Happy Halloween, but that one looks very complicated. I would almost want to do something a little bit, but it also depends on, how about the ghost? Ooh, the ghost? The Soon Ghost? Or these ghosty boys down here? Actually, you know what? That's actually a Reaper, so yeah, I suppose the Spooky Friends. That one seems pretty straight. Spooky Friends. Sure. And my booklet is absolutely falling apart. And the mastery level is just a nice, comfortable just right. So we will do Spooky Friends for the first pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one template for one of them. There we go. Whoa! That was a real pop. Okay. So there's also instructions for these guys, which, for those who have been around here for a little while, know I am not great with the instructions. And that is, first we must get this wet, which I think that was actually the challenging thing last year with these, is the simple fact of we have to wet it, and then coincidentally you have to wet it, put it on the thing, and then you also put like a so just to make sure the other side gets wet, I take it out. And there we go. So per instructions, we're going to let that soak for a little while. And since apparently I was like a good boy today, I got tipped in a goodie bag, which I'm curious is, I actually took a Twix out at one point, but I've got some Three Musketeers here, so I haven't really looked through my candy bag I got. Ooh! Biscoff! Ooh! That's actually not candy, but still good stuff. Another Three Musketeers. Ooh. Another Twix. Sour Patch Sours, and then it finishes off with fun size M&Ms. So, lucky man, I see. Oh no, I cleaned a nice old lady's furnaces today, and she's like, here. That's actually kind of one of the nice things when you're like a service worker who goes to people's houses during this time of year. Customers will it's very common to get tipped in candy, because they'll just have like a whole bunch of it laying around, and they'll be like, oh hey, you want some of this stuff? And I literally just go, sure. So something that's not 100% candy, but still delicious, because yep. I was actually pretty doubtful if I was going to start stream on time, because I was a little late getting off work, so things were like really down to the hour when it came on getting ready, but everything pulled through in the end. Did reasonably good in terms of like prep and whatnot, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm going to take my tea off here. It'd be a damn shame to spill some tea tonight and start a revolutionary war or something. So here's our first victim, courtesy of the Wally World store. Now, what I have here is a big serrated knife with nice, good, grippy grip handle. For those who do not know their tools, this is a drywall saw. This is a saw that you go up to your drywalls, you poke it into the drywalls, you go back and forth a lot, and then you make holes in drywall. That's what it's a drywall saw. That's what this does. It's also really good for carving pumpkins, because not only do I have the stencils, I also have tools. Now, if we look at our tools, here's kind of sort of our beefiest blade, which, as you can see, it's a very small tool, does not fit in hand very well. And then we have the drywall saw. We're using our pumpkin as the wool. It cuts as well as drywall, but yes. Drywall tool fits much better in the hand. And also when you go for the stab, it stabs nicely. So another thing I'm doing here is because when I do these tops, when I go to cut the top, I always stab at an angle. I never go straight down, because basically what I want to do is create a little lip, so that way when I put the top back on, it has something to sit on. Otherwise, I won't have a good lid, and I would like to have a good lid. Do. There we go. And there we go. So you see we have a nice angle. And with that angle, makes it very easy. Just sits on there when you're done. Very nice. Okay. This is the part where I've sort of foobarred myself. One moment. I must procure a bucket. Bucket Coon! I love you, Bucket Coon. Which, behold, Bucket Coon. Easy now, squirrels. Oh, wow. Okay, well, squirrels are having a family feud right now, so not my problem. So I usually like to do a nice good cut off that. That kind of just cleans up the... Yes, Bucket Coon. I could also just call him Mr. Lowe's, but nah, Bucket Coon's much better. So we have ourselves gourd. It is big and slimy, and also very full of seeds. One of my original plans was to consider doing some pumpkin seed roasting, but since I was a little bit late off, getting off from work, I was like, nah, it's extra prep. It's a lot of extra prep. But since I was doing better on time, I decided to prepare a separate other thing, which didn't take a lot of time. It was like literally grabbing like 4 things, and I was like, I can grab 4 things and do a thing. Great. So that's going to be our first challenge here. It's cleaning Pumpkin Coon, who's going to become spooky friends. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to be working the pumpkin. Getting a nice layer of the innards. Good old innards. Jeepers creepers. Look at all those greasy, grimy gopher guts there. Then it's reasonable. Woo! Good job. Wow, we fire. Like, you're being very violent. Almost reminds me of that one bit on The Simpsons where it was like the Simpson family in like kind of like a medieval Europe setting. And rather than watching TV, Bart was just hanging around the fire, and the fire was snap crackling and popping, and he was laughing about that. And then Marge just goes, "Bart, get away from that fire. It's too violent." Me, I actually appreciate it if my fire isn't too violent. Because historically, it has been violent with me. Because when it gets real violent, it will actually throw coals at me. So I think we've got a pretty good amount of the side walls done. Now I gotta clean the bottom. Oh, hey, Mr. Spock, welcome in. Not really missing much. I'm just half arm deep in pumpkin right now. Just cleaning my gourd. Okay. Putting that in. Whew. But we're gonna get this feller clean. Wow. Bird sounds. And basically just going to keep cleaning this until I get the reasonably sounding tone, but makes really good, nice muck. Really, the pumpkin smell is actually really starting to come out, though. Really appreciate the pumpkin smell. Okay, I think that's enough. Going through the innards. Woo! Let's get another handful. And then I think after that, we'll just do some brushing around with the hand. And there we go. Now, historically, I have not been a big pie guy. Now, that may change. That may change. Also, since my fire's looking like it's had better days, we'll show the fire some TLC. There we go. Okay. So, our next step is to identify a reasonable carving surface. Now, here, I have a nice flat spot. Clearly, probably from where this pumpkin was resting on the ground. I don't see much in terms of any visual considerations. So I think that's a good spot to start on this person. Okay. Now, so let's get her, simple it out. And that is, okay. Let's see. Oh. Now that is a thing. It does adhere quite well to the pumpkin. Okay, it's a little off balanced. Let me get a better balance on this guy. Come on. Ooh. Ooh. Make it an Iron Man pumpkin. An Iron Man pumpkin? Okay. I'm reasonably happy with that. Because I can also see that my paper's starting to wrinkle. I don't want my paper to wrinkle too much. If my paper wrinkles too much, then I'm in trouble. So, per the instructions of this thingamajigger, if I can unwrap, saran wrap, I'm supposed to put plastic over this. I suppose what the plastic does is help maintain the structural integrity of the paper, because the paper's just I should have cleared my tools off before I started doing this. So I'm going to get my saran wrap at least to the point where it doubles on itself. And and now we have it saran wrapped per instructions. But unfortunately, I've also done terrible, terrible things to my tools. I've spilled them. I've spilled my tools. Okay. Now, if I look, are my instructions at the bottom? My instructions are at the, well, I should have cut that piece off. Should have cut this piece off, but So the first thing we gotta do is we gotta cut out the mouth and eyes for our for these two fellers. So that's a thick blade. You're a thinner, more serrated blade. Since these are really small parts with curves, small thin blades are going to be a lot more agile and be able to move in the cut. The big drywall saw, that's honestly best for just doing the lid, or if I have to make like big aggressive cuts. If I want to make big aggressive cuts, I can do that and get that guy out. But for now, we want nice control, slow cutting, which the thin blade here is going to be our friend for. Okay. Aw, it looks like he's eating the knife. I assure you, ghosty friend, knives are not delicious. That they are very much not. Okay, then bring it up. Should give me. Oop, there we go. Ooh, we got a mouth. Oh, he's hungry. Yes, he's hungry for steel and fire. Granted, this is actually going to be kind of fun because the pumpkin's going to light up as I work it and cut it. I knew there was a benefit to doing this around the fire pit. Granted, these circle shapes are going to be very challenging. Ooh, how violent of you, fire. Are you going to awaken my own violent tendencies towards this pumpkin? Ooh. So I just need to do a... Yeah, like delicate curves are going to be really difficult for me. Here. Now, I also had a bonfire earlier. Nice. Very nice. I think my friends are going to turn out a little derpy, but I will certainly try them. It's just these it's just doing these real tight angles is really hard. Because it's like I gotta cut, turn, cut, turn, cut, turn, cut, turn. I wonder if I should have. I'm also having trouble seeing where my blade's going. But it's fine. Our little spooky friend is having an alright day. He's just taking a blade to the eye. No big deal. Ooh. Oh, that one came out a little bit better. But there we go. We got our first face. Now, the next face. That mouth is not going to be fun. The mouth is not going to be fun. The eyes are actually really easy on this, on the second spooky friend. Let's see. And for removing these pieces, because of how I'm carving them, they're always better to be pulled out versus in. Which was not how I was expecting to use that knife I brought down, but I'm glad I had it because I don't want to be doing prying with these blades. Because if I were to pry with these blades, I would probably break them. I don't want to break my blades, man. I spent like a whole $1. I think I spent like a whole $1 on this kit. A whole American buckaroony. That's a lot of money in like today's economy. Gotta go to the store tomorrow, picking up the stuff to make Hagen's pizza. Ooh, pizza. Well, it is personally part of my policy that Friday night is always pizza night. Okay. Then I can always like bring my knife in and just go around. So we got 2 spooky sets of eyeballs now. Oh, that's kind of cute. He's got goo of he's got tears of pumpkin. Okay, so I'm gonna do the top part. So I'm gonna do the top here as 2 separate cuts. Be the first. Second. And then third. Man, Fire, you're just being very excited tonight, aren't you? You're having a good night, aren't you? And see what sort of cavities we can get out of you, feller. Ooh, wait. That's not releasing. Why are you not releasing? Problem is with using big blades for this is big blades are very not graceful. So if I do that other side. Oh, there it is. There you be. I don't know about the music being Charlie Brown. But we got ourselves a set of faces. So we got faces. So with stencils like these, you always have to consider support. like how the remainder is going to be supported. So I think what I should do, man, that is just popping like gunshots, is we'll start here, 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 do this part, then we'll take this, that, and then that. I think that's a good order of operations. And then since these are a lot more straighter as far as cuts, I'm actually feeling a lot more confident to bust out. A bigger and heavier blade. Okay, we'll do a little bit of turning. Got the little hand holding the witch's broom. And I got a pretty sharp 90-degree angle, which I'm going to just do that with another plunge. Need a jigsaw? Yeah. But I feel like with a jigsaw, I'd be going way too quick. Be going way too quick and probably making a bunch of mistakes in the meantime. Ooh. Well, hey there, feller. You're gonna hang out and say hi to chat? Or probably not. You're probably gonna bugger off. Yeah, you're buggering off. Which, that was the cat that hangs around my homestead. Which I was actually meaning to... Actually got a pretty good photo of him the other night. Photos. Let's see. There you are, feller. Can I send that to me? Oh. Darn email services. Don't you know that I'm wanting to... Yeah. And my local kitty wander through the yard just now. Download. There we go. And image. Browse. Wowie, you're being exceptionally violent. But yeah, there is the kitty. So that's actually, so as you can see, the cat's got like a little collar, little red collar on him, and there's a bell on it. And that's how I always know when that cat's running around the yard. Yeah. Which, granted, for the cat to have a collar makes me think it's friends. Well, it has humans that take care of it. Yeah. It's a cat with style. Granted, I hope it means I don't have to deal with varmin. I really don't want to deal with varmin. Okay. So we completed that side of the cut. Okay, Fire, you're just being exceptionally violent. And I have went from coloring outside Ooh. Oh. Wait a second. Where's the spin on that? Because that's the biggest thing with these guys. Okay. I think I got that section cut. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Success. To the bucket. I missed the bucket. Well, that's perfectly Sugi of me. Did it cut through? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just I'm not getting a lot of light into the pumpkin right now. This stream is now currently being mostly supported by the light from my ring light. Ooh, and I really would appreciate it if you didn't do that. But yeah, this is also one of the reasons why every year we do a stencil, and then we'll do something simple for the second pumpkin. Just because these stenciled ones are usually a little bit on the complicated side. Now, typically, it's ill-advised to cut towards yourself. However, though, in this circumstance, I'm making an exception to the rules because I prefer to see what I'm doing. Also, one of these days, I'm going to get better tools because this thing is not fun to hold because it's so small. It's very small, but I don't like small tools. They're hard. They're actually quite hard on my hands to use. So that's a piece there. So I have big, kind of big, slightly complicated. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start here and start working on the complicated parts because these are the type that most need support. And then once we get to the free for all, then it's free for all. Oh man, I'm carving pumpkins too. Oh hey! You're gonna take it. You're doing it with the fam, Dad's old shop, and also welcome in, by the way. I mean, there's no better time than Halloween Eve, I suppose. Oof. Man, that's a thing I dislike about. Okay. This situation needs additional light. Wah! There we go. Ooh. Remainder of bucket. My cookie. Oh. I keep dropping tools. I'm good at that. Way too good at that. Now I can see what I'm doing. Man, that line's not. That's what I locating about stream. Ah. I see, I see. Just got done sushi. Ah, nice. Okay, that's a pretty big piece. And since so this is going to be my next part of the victim. So I'm going to start from here, work out to here and here. We're going to be my first cuts. Ah, so the design of this pumpkin is, it's called Spooky Friends. There's like kind of a devilish critter here, and there's a ghostly critter here. So it's two spooky friends. Let's see. So it's gonna be these two guys down here in the lower right-hand corner. It's not gonna look as clean as that. I cannot get clean lines with these tools. I am sure there are people who can. I am not one of them. But I can still have fun with this, though. Just because you're not good at the tools does not mean you cannot still have fun with them. Okay, so I'm getting to that corner there. I have that. So, and since it's really hard to fully round a corner with this tool, what I've been doing is just going to the other side and stabbing down again. And then that way, it's because some curves, like where this hat, well, actually, I think that's one of the Spooky Friend's horns. That curve I can do. Sawzall. We've already had Jigsaw, and now you're calling for Sawzall, and now I'm like, well, you know how I feel about power tools. I'm pro power tools. And there is also just something real fun, cozy, and wholesome about doing this. In the way I'm doing it. Granted, let's see. We're still only like 40 some odd minutes in, so. Second pumpkin, I'm going to do something a lot simpler. That's usually the game plan for these, is we'll do one like kind of complicated design, and then I do a simplified design. So that way I can kind of get something that takes a little bit of effort, but I also like to do something where it's just hack and slash. Which, speaking of hack and slash, I'm doing a really good job hacking and slashing this hat. I just wish I could get like a really good cadence with my tool, but admittedly it's kind of hard. Ooh, don't do that. When the blade bends, I have a bad day. And then I think with that we've hit the end point on this, depending on that horn. Now this is what happens when you do the more complicated shapes, is sometimes when you go to poke them out, you might have a little bit of resistance in it. And that resistance is enough to damage the piece. Which I don't... Okay. I think I know where you're getting hung up at. Yep. Ooh, there we go. That's better. Much better. Ha-ha! Puzzle piece. Puzzle piece. So, that's... Got 3 cutouts left, and unfortunately, they are curves. Dangerous, dangerous curves. Granted, I am loving the atmosphere of the fire right now, though. Firecoon is making me happy. As Firecoon traditionally does. Need a little bit more support. I probably should make my way a little bit closer to my workpiece. So, I'm gonna make that just a hair bit thicker. Just because I want there to be a little bit more additional support. Oop. That's 1 cut. Two cut. 3 cuts. Then for these small pieces, I like to use a nice good stiff straight blade. Usually does a pretty good job of lifting those pieces out of there. Okay. Time to face my fears. Curves. Dangerous, dangerous curves. Which I literally just started tackling angles with the coffin project, and now I'm throwing myself into curves. What a terrible what a masochist I am. Okay. So for this, I'm going to finish that with a stab. And then I'm going to come around the other side, starting with a stab. And then bring it around. Bring it around time. Step on your left foot and don't forget it. Kids now... What kids get that? Because that's like iconic for my generation, but... Granted, I actually... Man, kiddos. I am so old. I remember when the original episode of SpongeBob SquarePants aired. I am that old. Okay. It was coming out, then it shrunk back in. Let's see here. Oop, 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 oop. I wonder... Oop. You know what? I am happy with that level of curve. Holy smokes. And... oh, yeah, I can just clean up the remainder. Yeah, that's what it is. Have a nice... There we go. Ha-ha! Whew, okay. We are nearing the end. Most excellent. And a very nice fire, by the way, too. Really loving my fire. Whew, okay. So, I'm going to start inside, work my way out, so that way this is going to be, so that way this piece is going to be supported by the rest of the offcut as I make my way that way. And then I'll come do that back outside, and then these two cuts here are going to be my last cuts. Is the game plan. Is the game plan. Actually, do I want to switch for a finder? We'll switch for a finder. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty optimistic with it though. I think if I wanted to make my life really, really easy, I could have actually done a bit more of a better job of like carving out the inside, like making it thinner. Because right now, I think it's kind of thick. It's, I reckon, about an inch thick. Granted, I love how messy this thing looks after all the damage I did to the stencil. But as you can see, this piece here is slightly moving in response to the blade, and that's because it's not being supported. And that's what happens with the more intricate designs on some pumpkins, is you gotta make sure you support things. That's why there's always like a really big order of operations, because if I say cut this out and was then starting to cut on these inner parts have not a lot of pumpkin holding them in, so they would not cut as well. And I know one of the points of the plastic wrap is to help hold my stencil in while I cut, but it also makes it hard for me to see my stencil while I cut. Okay, so that's the outside line there. So for now, we do... Whoop. Let's see here. Can I come to here? We'll go in. Now this part is doing a lot of flexing. But the part that's flexing a whole lot is also my waist. So I'm very okay with that. Just I also don't want to ruin my stencil. It's kind of the big challenge right now. But we got over that side. Now it is a race to the home run, which is this point right here. And since this is my biggest line, I'm going to leave that for last. We're going to start up where we left off here. This is my second biggest line. And we're going to just come on down this, maintaining a reasonable curve. Then, sharp cut. cut up at the end. There we go. One cut remaining. Will my patience hold? It will hold. I'm plenty patient enough for this. It's just... It also feels like I may not scrape too much pumpkin from the inside. Which is pretty thick. Yeah, I think if I were to take this like a little bit more seriously as a stream, what I would do is I would just get myself some like good jigsaw blades, get some handles, because I mean, drywall saw, man, drywall saw. This thing is, oh, I can wrap my hand around it. I can stab really good. This is really good. This is, honestly, I really like using the drywall saw for taking out the top. Makes it real quick and easy, because like, yeah, drywall saw is perfect for this. It's a good tool for the application. But honestly, it would be real fun for these is if I could just put like this much handle on a jigsaw blade. Then I could just have, yeah, using an X-Acto knife when I made face bones from Metalocalypse a few years ago. Ooh, nice. Oh, there we go. I think that all popped out well. I think I'm hanging up a little bit on the end. Yeah, got a little bit of hang up on the end, which is fine. It is more than fine. I can take care of that. So, first thing is just grab it and see how it pulls. And then grab one of our tools. Just kind of go in. The last thing, the last thing is holding me back. Which I think what it's doing, it may not be cut all the way through on the back side. Yeah, because that's some pretty thick pumpkin there. So, let's see here. So I can slide my blade, because it's usually just that might pull out now. Oh, ha-ha! There we go. It's done! Yay! I did it. Oh, also really bumped the the stand there. But hey, we have pumpkin that has been carved. Now, time for the supposedly fun part. And sadly, plastic is very, 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 very big. Don't burn. Don't burn. don't burn. So I'm going to try and just roll the edges back. I can burn the paper though. I don't care if this has glue. Or whatevs. Man, my fire. I have lost so much fire. But that's what I get for putting my focus on this. But yeah. 2 spooky friends. Done. Cheryl. Man, I have been like downright negligent with my campfire. My poor campfire. I have not been attending to you or your needs. Whew, okay. Let's see, what do I want to do? Whoa, light mode. Okay, well, apparently disturbing the fire has brought us into light mode. So, you can really see the 2 spooky friends really well right now. So, overall, I'm actually pretty happy with it. Like, details, everything looks pretty nice. Have a little bit of pumpkin piece stuck in there. Oh, that's the thing. That's one of the fun, encouraging things about these kits. They're at least built for my skill level, and that's average American, and average American is a pretty low skill bar, so even me can do something slightly okay with hardly any levels of like talent. But I do like how reasonably face got a little derpy. Don't really have too much of like actual like pupils on the eyelet, but I'm really happy with my edges on the witch hat. But yeah, sure. Oh, smells. Derp is good. Yeah, derp is friendly. Derp is very friendly. You know, what's cool is the green stuff kind of helps line up where the lid goes. Ah. And also with my tea being done, it can just go in there because it's going to eventually go into the compost bin. Because that's where all the extra stuff from tonight's stream is going to go. It's going to all go into the compost bin. And then these pumpkins, they're actually going to go on my front porch. They won't go on my front porch tonight because I'll be a very sad panda if someone were to break my pumpkins overnight before Halloween. But yeah. Oh yeah. So we're over a half hour in, and this is also usually about the time I take my bathroom breaks. So I'm gonna finish let my tea water boil, get that poured off, and I'm gonna hit the restroom, and we're gonna work on pumpkin number 2, and we're gonna make a snack. Just because I had to rush eat for a stream, and I want a snack. Also, I'm also wishing to grab a few things. One of those things being for these guys, which honestly, I'm just gonna let the tea do its thing. See you all in a few. Okay. And we're back. I have procured fresh tea. And, more importantly, goodies. This. The traditional technique. Oh, thanks for the welcome back. Oh, you can kind of see what I got going on here. But the traditional Yamagawa technique for lighting up a pumpkin is a bicycle light. So, this is roughly what it will look like lit up. So, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. It looks nice. I was actually looking for my my rear bike light because the rear bike light is red. And it would have been really fun to get that one out. Just because I'm curious about seeing what this would look like red. Granted, I can actually make this light flash red. My little Coleman light I have here, so. Okay. Spooky friends are done. Oh, yeah, sure. We'll put you over here. But I do have to show off the chat. So, one of the things I will actually be using these pumpkins for is to let the neighborhood know that I am participating in the Halloween activities. So, should any kid dare to step on to the Yamagawa homestead, what awaits them is a full-sized Hershey product of their choosing. I let the kiddos choose. So they can choose either Kit Kat, Hershey's with almond, Reese's, best choice. This wins always, and then Hershey. This is a full-size candy bar household, primarily thanks to Costco, because I want to say I spent like $20 on this, which really wasn't bad for like a 30-count pack of full-size candy bars. So, yeah. Introducing Victim 2. Victim 2 is a round sort of feller. Not much of a stem. Seems to be a little bit more easygoing than the average pumpkin. But very round. Very round. No flat spots. Spooky Friends had some flat spots. Ugh. Now the question comes down to what design I want to do, which I actually screenshotted some ideas. I know last year I did one of the more traditional jack-o'-lanterns, which one of the things I was kind of looking into was... Wait, what? Wait. No, go back. I need to pause that. I need to pause. Don't. I wanted to pause that. Because that was actually... Now I'm going back. Now I'm going back in time. Was it? Because I see him there. Oh, was it towards... It was this direction. Wait, did I do it? Holy... Okay, well... I didn't intend for that. But... So, I was looking for my reference photos, but Google decided to share with me. I actually... So, this is the streaming this is me taking a picture of the streaming setup for last year's pumpkins. And also, this is basically my eldest setup for stream. And for last year's, these were last year's pumpkins. So, standard style jack-o'-lantern there, and we did an owl. I really like the owl. The wings were challenging to do. Exceptionally challenging to do, but otherwise fun. That was an otherwise fun stream. And I went... That was my mistake. I went into photos when I need to go into files, because I took screenshots earlier today. Which I really like this guy, but there's some curves there, and I don't like the idea of doing curves. Now, something that is like quote-unquote traditional, but still like slightly different, is I was thinking like this guy down here, who's got like big eyes and like a jagged mouth. I'm really leaning towards that guy. And I also think it's real cute and fun that they even threw in a second gorge, but this is different. Well, what do they call it? How does Seth say it on Seth Bike Hacks? Today, we're doing something kind of the same, but a little different. That's the expression. Okay. So before I start embracing my inner stabbing person, yeah. I mean, the internet, there's a lot. You can actually win some pretty good internet cred with, like, being good at carving pumpkins. And I'm not good at carving pumpkins, but honestly, I put myself at solid okay. Rock solid okay. So, drywall's all time. We're dipping. Not too low. Man, that gives me a lot of room to work with, but gives me less room to curve. Okay, you start dipping up. And connection. Oh, a monstrosity. Look at that. What a monstrosity. Ooh, smells very much like a pumpkin, though. Let's see. Very intense pumpkin flavors. I was hoping to clean up the top a bit better than that. Ah, yeah. Use the scraping edge of the knife. There we go. Lid. Off to side. Well, time to dig through some greasy, grimy gopher guts. Granted, that fire is also looking downright mesmerizing. I'd say this fella is an extra slimy. Oh, looks like there's a pool of water in the bottom. Were you? You apparently came from a well-watered vine. Granted, I think one of the things I might do is I might throw some of this pumpkin goo in some areas of the yard where I'll be very much okay with a pumpkin spontaneously existing. And see if I can't get some. See if I can't get like a small pumpkin patch growing, which that will help save me a little bit of money, because if I can get pumpkins to grow, that can save me a whole $8 I spent on these pumpkins. Hoo-hoo. Okay. It's getting too greasy and grimy in there. Holy smokes! Oh, now a whole heart. Whoa! Whole heart of pumpkin. Still pretty slimy in there, though. Ba-bum-bum-ba-bum. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's a fistful of shredded pumpkin right there. As Mr. Stark said earlier, would have been good for pumpkin pie. Okay, I think I'll just do a little bit more cleaning up. Granted, I also don't want to be. I'm also kind of not really in much of a mood for thinking about desserts, because after all those desserts I made for Desserttoberfest, I wouldn't be good on desserts for a while. Also, especially with all this, depending on the number of trick-or-treaters I get, I'm going to end up with a lot of leftover Halloween candy. I'm anticipating. Now, granted, I've already had a little bit of my Halloween candy, but still enough left to preserve a child's sense of choice in the world. Putting it that way. Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah. There we go. Clean as a whistle. Clean as a pumpkin. Okay. I feel like Being a little bit extra with that, and staring at my hand and wondering what am I going to do with it. That's what I'm going to do with it. And treat my VTuber garb as spare rag. Oh, big thing went down the street. Tea truly is the ultimate source of energy. Okay, so I've got a Sharpie friend. Sharpie friend is basically going to help do the role of the stencil from earlier. So I'm looking for a reasonably good spot to start. Working on this feller, which I'm gonna really zoom him in. Now, part of me really wants to make my life easy. But there's a nice, like, sharp. I don't know if it's necessarily sharp. Not exactly the same vibes I was imagining the other face, the face I was referencing, but you know what? I'll take it, honestly. Then I can do a sharp. There we go. So that's some eyes there. And then for the mouth, he's got a big mouth, man. This guy's got just the biggest mouth imaginable. Let's see, does it come down? It comes down. Okay, so we've got some. We have a very big, very spiky mouth. That's fine. Honestly, I call that fine. Then we'll bring it down there. And then for the bottom, definitely a lot fewer on the teeth. But still very spooky, very scary guy. Very scary, very spooky guy we got here. Definitely an individual who could be described as a tough customer. But buddy, I've got drywall tools. And you have no idea how many drugs a drywaller does. Which that might be a negative stereotype in some circles, but I'm sure I don't have drywallers watching my stuff, so I'm safe. And then... Did I just cut that whole line just by stabbing the saw in? I cut that whole line by just stabbing power. And this is why I really like doing a simple design. Because with a simple design, it's simple. The answer is go to town. Just go to town, and you will succeed. And appropriate level of force. Appropriate level of force, followed up by the gold. How do the youngsters say it? The Freddy Krueger amount of stabbing? Is Freddy Krueger the one that does lots of stabbing? I think so. I really wouldn't know because, well, I'm actually very not well inducted in the ways of the horror. Wait, did I do that line? Nope. Bada bing, bada boom. And that's the fun thing with a simple design. It looks angry. And I think the marker distracts from it. So what I'm going to do here is try to carve out and it actually works really well for that application. I love it when I do a thing just off of the, let's just try this out. And then it works out. Okay, now we have the you hissing log? Okay, that was you. Okay, as long as I know where that came from. So what I think I'm going to do here is we're just going to stab. Do a little bit of cutting. And do a little bit of cutting. And that's how we're going to get through the mouth. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And also with the blade being so thick, it can't turn. This thing's like a boat. Well, honestly, this thing turns in Pumpkin like an ocean, like a container ocean-going vessel. I.e., it don't turn. So we're gonna treat it like it doesn't turn. But this just means we get to stab. We get to do so much stab. I wonder if this is what Pokemon trainers call stab damage. No, I know this is not what a Pokemon trainer calls stab damage, but the idea seems funny to me. And we're getting real close. Play. And there we go. That's top row teeth. Now we get to play with the bottom row. If I can find a work angle I want to work with. smokes. The rind is definitely... the rind's a degree tougher at the bottom. Which is certainly adding to the difficulty, but that's fine. Like, that's... I chose this design for ease of execution, so a little bit of difficulty in that execution is no big deal. Next up. And then... there we go. So we got a line on the side, a line on the other side. And then I think to just make it a little bit more dramatic, I'm just going to stab my way to the line, so that way it'll be a bit more of a jagged edge. I think it's a good idea. And it also lets me stab. Or stab it. Okay. So let's see. So all there we go. There we go. There's ooh. Oh. Got a little bit of marker on you, buddy. Got a little bit of marker on you. A little bit's fine, but I would like to kind of clean that up a little bit. Yeah. For a freehand design, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, the question becomes... now I'm wanting to use my drywall saw as a holder. Question... aha! There you go. Man, that's pumpkin number 2. It's Jack, the Pumpkin King. I don't think he's quite got that level of energy. But he's got some good energy, though. He's got some really good energy. I like the energy. Which, let's see. Where did I put his lid? Behind me. Lid. Wish I had a reasonably okay-ish spot to put him off to the side. Which I could, actually. Sugi, you're a genius. Oh no. This is terrible. This is a terrible circumstance. Absolute terrible circumstance. Absolute terribleness. Because I'm having thoughts. And thoughts are a dangerous thing for a guy like me to have. Okay, I need this. But the things I'll do for a good aesthetic, though. Yeah. Okay, I like that. And actually, yeah, I can also play with some things, too. Let's see. I don't have just one. Bike light, I have two. And we can do some shenanigans. And there we go. Premium aesthetic. Now this is a cozy stream. That's something I can be proud of. That is something I can be proud of. Okay. Oh man, that is... And this is also the fun thing with bicycle lights is these are USB rechargeable. And also I don't have to have like an actual like candle in them. Granted, the light levels of the bike lights are kind of also why the pumpkins glow a little bit, but so we have not even hit the 2-hour mark. So there's actually been something I've been wanting to do around the fire pit for quite some time. Great. Ooh, that grate might be hot. Sugi, your fire resistance isn't enough to touch hot steel just yet. You're working on it in ways humans shouldn't be working on it, but you've been doing it. One rod of metal, a secondary rod of metal, and come back to the fro. Great, made of coon. I can just shove all my tools there. Okay. Whoa. That's right, chat. Not a dessert, but we're doing it. We're finally doing popcorn, which I also got the purple stuff. And also the best thing about popcorn is a whole grain snack. So I've got popcorn, got Kirtland garlic powder. I have the magical Morton lady, and probably what could be considered an appropriate amount of butter for this. And also, if I throw all the butter I have now at this, then that just means I can actually just go grab butter. Next time, I need butter for a recipe, which who knows when the next time I'll need butter for a recipe. I have no clue. Okay, so we're gonna let that warm up, let the butter melt, then we'll throw our little popcorns in there, and then we'll get popping. And then that will whoa, light mode. really need to come up with a better bit for when light mode happens. Granted, the intensity of the lights in the pumpkins also helps make up for the incredible sin that is light mode. Mm-hmm. Aw. One of those buckets where we're sticking my tea bags. Well, I can just yeet them straight into garden. I mean, that's why people grow gardens, right? Because it's just to have a place to yeet their used tea bags into. Oh. It might help if I were to actually turn the electric tea kettle on. And also, for those who are wondering, well, the more astute observers amongst yourselves might be noticing my tea consumption tonight and be wondering why I'm consuming as much tea as I am. Yeah. That one glass of blackberry wine I had last stream, I didn't feel like I got alcoholed, but I woke up the next morning with a headache, and I'm like, I'm too old to be drinking at this time. It's too late in the evening hours for me to be drinking. It's way too late in the evening hours. I can only drink during afternoon. There we go. Hurry! And more importantly, non-caffeinated. Because if this was caffeinated, it wouldn't be good for Sugi. Sugi would not be going to bed at the time he needs to be going to bed because he has to go to work tomorrow. It is extra important I go to work tomorrow. Because I actually have a coworker taking off. Okay, butter's completely melted. Let's get ourselves some nice little layer of popcorn. Hope none of this pops until I get this lid on it. And then we'll move that to a warmer area of the fire. And now we wait. So yeah. Now granted, I'm definitely be doing a little bit of fire manipulation to get a little bit more heat under that, so it pops in a reasonable amount of time. Because it would be a shame if stream got dragged out even longer just because I was waiting for popcorn to pop. But this has been good. This has been really good. Granted, I think it's absolutely funny that I actually, because I did this last year, but I didn't realize I did it on the same date, which being October 30th. I didn't realize I did it right before Halloween. I'm hearing some stuff. Ooh. Let's see here. Let's get Mike there. That might be too loud. just thinking about it. Yay! And the sound of the popcorn is really important. Because once I stop hearing pops for like 2 to 3 seconds, it's done. Oh. What is it? Oh. I was wondering what it was sizzling on when I set it down, and it's actually sizzling on the the pumpkin stuff. But yeah, what do we got? Popcorn! Yay! So, not exactly a full-on proper campfire cooking stream, but hey, I've been really wanting to like pop some corn on stream, and today just turned out to be a wonderful night for it. Because my original game plan was to do some I wanted to roast pumpkin seeds. Was my original game plan, but I was actually looking into the steps and whatnot for that, and it was a lot of steps and a lot of work, and I was actually I've got 2 gloves for a reason. Can I do this? Yeah. Not for long. Not for long. It is hot. But it's now seasoned with salt and garlic. But yeah, I gotta say, today has been a great day. Absolutely great day. 100%. Even if work ran a little long for me, but other than that, fabulous day. Fabulous day. Okay. Let's try some of this popcorn. Oh man, that's good. Lightly buttered, lightly salted. Good little bit of garlic, just to give it like a little bit of something different. My goodness. Granted, the problem with this is the type of stuff that makes me wish I had a beer. Granted, tonight's a tea night only. But hey. So much yum. So much good. And actually a really good night for it too. Nice chill. Granted, I can't wait to actually make an actual meal. But it's been desserts and such. Granted, we did. Oh, we did. Uh-oh. A little bit of popcorn got stuck in the throat. But yeah. We did do beef stew at the start of this month. For the campfire cooking anime. But yeah. So. Probably won't put the night stream in my campfire cooking playlist. Because I don't consider like a light snack to be an actual like thing to do. But hey, gotta say, really happy with tonight. No audio issues. At least not like last stream. Gosh, that was a nightmare. That last stream's audio issues had me feeling like that at the world. But today's stream has me feeling like this at the world. And this is a tale of two pumpkins. Ugh. So, I'd like to call tonight's stream a resounding success. It's been a really good one. Really happy with how the pumpkins turned out. Did something a little bit different all around. And yeah, it's just been a good night. Just been a really solid night, which is the most a guy like me can ask for. So, thank you very much, everyone who decided to tune in tonight. This is Sugi Yamagawa. Well, actually, wait. I should probably plug the next stream. So, next stream is going to be Sunday morning. I think, when did I schedule that? Yeah, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. So a little bit different time slot than tonight. But yeah, we're going to actually be finishing the DIY coffin build. I have to build a back for it, and I have to build a front. And then put that stuff on. So, should be pretty chill, should be pretty easy. Still have no idea what I'm doing, but that's what makes it fun. So, with all that, this is Sugi Yamagawa. Thank you very much for tuning in, and may you all have a great rest of your day, night, evening, wherever it is, wherever you're at, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.